Walt Disney World has a lot of great places where you can go to grab an adult beverage. We're gonna go over our favorites. Cheers! Welcome back to the Carousel of Douglas. Today we're going to be discussing one of our favorite things to tell people. Great places to get a drink. You don't always have to get an alcoholic drink, but we know a lot of great places where you can sit and chill, relax, and just have a great finish to the rest of your day. So we're going to get right into it. The first place we're going to be talking about for places to get a drink are the Disney World resorts. The Disney World resorts have all kinds of lounges and walk-up pool bars and all kinds of places, but we want to recommend some that we think are just amazing. The first one I'm going to talk about is actually at Port Orleans French Quarter, and that is the Scat Cats Club. Scat Cats Club is kind of hidden actually at French Quarter, but they have one great drink menu. They have some great bar food that you can grab there. And on top of that, they have a live jazz orchestra just playing. And they are so good. Check them out. Yeah, just incredible players. And I loved being able to sit in there and just enjoy them with some friends. Now, we are going to give an honorable mention to right across the river there to the River Roost Lounge over at Riverside Resort with Yeehaw Bob. We love it over there, but it can get really rowdy, so we're going to stick with Scat Cats on this one. The next one we're going to talk to you about at the resorts is actually over at the Wilderness Lodge, and that is the Geyser Point. Geyser Point is actually down below the pool, kind of inside the space near the recreation of the Old Faithful geyser that they have on that resort. And Geyser Point is just really, really awesome. It's got a great view of the water. It's all open air. It has some bar food, some very awesome drinks that are exclusive to that bar, and the setting and the locale and the amount of choices that you have there are great, and everything is good. We recommend Geyser Point as well. And the final resort bar that we're going to actually recommend is over at the Boardwalk Resort, and that is the Abracadabar. Abracadabar is so much fun. It's got a great theme. It's basically that some magicians were generally frequently hanging out at this bar and then suddenly vanished. And everyone thought it was a trick, and then they never came back. And the really interesting part is that the bar has things that happen just kind of in the background, and you don't really notice it. The bartenders are really, really friendly, and one of them has been there forever. And just a lot of fun over there at Abracadabar. And we recommend that you check that one out over at Boardwalk. And it's an easy walk from Epcot, too. Now, I know some of you are saying, wait, there are some great bars at some resorts that you didn't mention, and you're right. But I will. There's a reason they got left out. Don't worry, but you're going to have to watch to find out. Okay, we're heading to the parks now. The first park we're going to talk about is Animal Kingdom, and there's really only one, Nomad Lounge. It's incredible. I will tell you that one time, on a very hot day, Michelle and I got walk-up reservations to Nomad Lounge, intending to just kind of chill out and grab a drink and then go again, and we ended up sitting there for 2.5 hours. We kept drinking, we had a couple little snacks as we sat there, but we had one of the most relaxing moments we've ever had in Disney World in our entire time going there. And it just kind of happened by accident. We actually highly recommend Nomad Lounge. It's attached to Tiffin's, and normally I'm not going to be pushing the lounges that are attached to a major restaurant, but Nomad Lounge is just incredible. And that outside seating, oh, so good. Check out Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom. Okay, the next park we're going to talk about is Hollywood Studios. And at Hollywood Studios, there's lots of great places to choose in order to get a drink, but we actually recommend two. One of them is probably going to surprise you. One of them is probably not. The first one that we're going to talk about, the one that's kind of a surprise, is we're not going to say the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge for one reason. It's always crowded. It's almost impossible to get a spot at. The one that we actually recommend is Baseline Taphouse. Baseline Taphouse has a great selection of beer from California, and they always rotate it in and out. You can get flights, you can get a large beer, you can get a small beer. They also have California ciders, and Michelle likes to go there with me because I love beer and Michelle likes cider, and we can sit down, have a great time. It's at a good spot right there over by Muppets Courtyard, and it's a fantastic place to just get a drink in the middle of the day, chill out, and have a good time. Now, the second one at Disney's Hollywood Studios that I'm going to talk about, you should not be surprised about. I've got two very successful videos about this place. It's Oga's Cantina in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Oga's Cantina is an experience. It's so much fun. The drinks are actually incredible. Even though they're well drinks and they come out of a tap, they can't mix you anything special. They can only make for you what's on the menu. The setting is awesome. The story is awesome. All the cast members are in on it, and it's just so much fun. If you haven't seen my review of Oga's, I have two. I just did a recent update of it, and the update was such a blast to record, and I got to do it with some friends. You should check that one out. But again, the second place we recommend to get a drink in Hollywood Studios is Oga's Cantina. Okay, we're coming up on my favorite place to get a drink, and that is in Epcot. We're actually gonna recommend 3 places, and it's kind of like in a walk around the world kind of thing. And we always go clockwise around the world. So we're gonna start with our personal favorite in pretty much all of Walt Disney World, and that is La Cava del Tequila. You've heard me, if you've watched my blogs, talk about how much we love it and how we always go there when we're in Epcot. First off, the cast members are amazing. They're nice, they're friendly, they just want to help you, get you the best drink possible. They'll give you recommendations. They're patient with you, even though the line can be long. They are amazing. Then on top of that, they have a selection. They don't just have like Jose Cuervo and they dump it into things. They have all kinds of tequilas. They even do a great thing called the Agave Experience. We recommend checking out that video on our page. The Agave Experience was worth every penny. But then on top of that, Michelle and I almost always get the top shelf margarita. In fact, we love the top shelf margarita so much that we've bought the ingredients to make at home. The other margarita that I personally recommend is the Diablo. I had that for the first time ever this past summer, and I can't tell you how much I loved it. It's got jalapeno juice in it, so the combination of the sweet and spicy, I'm probably getting that one for a while after that because, oh my goodness, that was so good. But La Cava del Tequila. Then making your way around World Showcase all the way to the American Adventure, attached to Regal Eagle Smokehouse is Regal Eagle Craft Drafts. That's kind of hard to say. I'll try it again. Regal Eagle Craft Drafts. Blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of words. Anyway, that place is actually pretty amazing. Michelle likes to go there because she always gets the Blood Orange Ace Space hard cider there, and she constantly grabs those. And I like the fact that not only do they have good beers, a good cider selection, some wines, they also have some American whiskeys. So if I just want a pour of whiskey, I can get one. And it's out of the way, and people don't realize it's there, and it's rarely busy. So I recommend Regal Eagle Craft Drafts. They have an excellent selection, and you'll probably get your drink really quick. Finally, I can't do a video about Epcot without talking about the Rose and Crown Pub. Rose and Crown Pub's a lot of fun. You get a good selection of English beers and ciders, plus they also can do cocktails if you ask them to. They do have a full bar in there, and the atmosphere is fun because it's like an old British pub, and Rose and Crown is most of the way around World Showcase right after you pass the International Gateway if you pass it on your left. So Rose and Crown Pub, everyone stops there. It's a rite of passage at Epcot. You need to go. Now, before I get to our final location, I want to talk to you about the fact that we are not going to talk about Disney Springs in this video. Disney Springs has way too much selection. We recommend that you check it out on your own. We're going to be doing a much more in-depth discussion on Disney Springs coming up soon on the channel, so we're going to get to that later. But now we're going to go to Magic Kingdom. Now, there's an interesting thing about Magic Kingdom. When Walt Disney made Disneyland, he did not want alcohol served in the park. And for a long time, Magic Kingdom followed that same rule. It's actually still controversial that Magic Kingdom has sit-down restaurants serving alcohol. They never would have done that with Walt Disney around. But times have changed. People have kind of figured out that, it's okay if we do it this way. However, some people still think that it should never have changed. Because of that, there's no real good place in Magic Kingdom unless you're getting a meal to get a drink. So, the Magic Kingdom one includes those places that people were like, hey, you didn't talk about them. Because trust me, we're about to talk about them. What we recommend in the Magic Kingdom, when you need a moment, you want to catch a drink, or maybe you're at your end of your evening and you want to do something, is we recommend that you do a monorail crawl. We did one for the very first time ever this past summer and had an absolute blast. These are the 3 places that we recommend you go for a drink. Steakhouse 71 Lounge. Steakhouse 71 has some great signature cocktails, including one that is bigger than Michelle's head. It's supposed to serve 4 or 1 Michelle, because she absolutely was like, hey, I want this drink. And they're like, hey, it comes in a size for 1 person. She's like, no, I want the one for 4. Thank you. And they brought it to her, and oh my goodness, it was so much fun. So Steakhouse 71 has this great like contemporary lounge. It's surrounded by some great artwork. Hop back on the monorail, travel to the Polynesian, and then go to one of my personal favorite places to get a drink, the Tambu Lounge. Now, the Tambu Lounge has something very, very special. Besides the Lapu Lapu, which is the beverage served in an actual pineapple, and it's really good, very fruity, rum-based cocktail, so good. Here's why I love Tambu Lounge. First off, a lot of the bartenders there have been bartenders in Disney forever. Like, we're talking 30 years. So there's some long-term cast members there. They know how to serve you, and they will make your drink perfect every time. And they provide great conversation. But on top of that, the Tambu Lounge has my all-time absolute favorite beer. That is the Coconut Hiwa Porter from Maui Brewing. It is such a great beer, and they always have it. I can't get it around here. I've hunted for it. There's a place that sometimes gets like a 6-pack in, and it's gone before I can go get it. I love that Coconut Hiwa Porter, and the Tambu Lounge always has it. So if you want to try an amazing beer, it personally, literally a 10 out of 10, perfect score for me, check out that beer at the Tambu Lounge. Then you hop back onto the monorail, drive over to the Grand Floridian, and while you're at the Grand Floridian, I recommend the Enchanted Rose. It was actually an experience. First off, it's gorgeous in there. They have that chandelier that looks like Belle's dress, and on top of that, they have a really fascinating drink selection. They have drinks that are only there, and some of them are really interesting. I like the London Fog, which is a tea cocktail. It's a cocktail made with tea. It was a pretty cool drink. And they also have your standard cocktails, but most of the stuff there is exclusive. The mixes that they have, and they don't skimp. Trust me, they don't skimp. And Michelle had this really, really great chocolate martini that she absolutely loved. It was a really great experience. So therefore, that's what we recommend for Magic Kingdom. We say that you should do a monorail crawl. You should check out the video where we did that. We had an absolute blast that day. And as always, we like to say here on Carousel of Douglas, we hope that we've helped you enhance your Disney experience. Please check out all of our blogs and videos on the best things that we find in the parks in the playlist that you can find linked down below. And just because we don't like to say goodbye because we're going to see you real soon, we say cheers and see you bye.